right, folks, welcome back to another episode of Mom's Basement. I am your co-host, Buffalo Ben. I'm here with my best friend, Ryan, who we've decided to make this podcast because we were getting in trouble at work, and our boss was like, guys, take it away.
Stop talking about football!
Exactly. So here we are, creating this podcast, and we are doing pretty well, I think. We got some episodes up there.
We do.
We need some more views, so please hit like, share, however you want to help us out here.
Get the word out.
Yes. So we have been doing recaps of each week. And I think it's getting kind of boring. Running through each game. We don't really watch every game. So we're going to make this a little bit more exciting. We're going to call this the award episode. After every week, we're going to do awards.
Yeah.
We have 4 awards, but really honestly, this week we're going to talk about the playoff picture because it's getting intense.
It is. It's starting to take shape.
It is. Going through each of the divisions and who can actually win each division is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with the AFC East. You got your Miami Dolphins, your Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, and let's just not even talk about that last team.
Yeah, I'm good without talking about it.
Let's just count them out of the. We're just not going to talk about them. They're not going to make the playoffs. Patriots, no. I'm not going to even say it. That should be a swear word.
$1 in a jar.
Dollar in the jar.
Every time. As it sits, I honestly think this is exactly how the AFC is going to pan out.
The AFC East, I think exactly how it's going to pan out, too. The Dolphins are going to win the division. I just don't know about Buffalo.
He said the Dolphins are going to win the division.
It's been the first time in a long time that the Dolphins might actually win it. The reason I say that is if we look at the Bills' schedule. Look at this schedule, Ryan.
It's rough.
Cody, you can agree to how rough this is about to be. You got probably a win with Denver, even though Denver's, they've beat the Chiefs. Like, they're showing life. Bills are decreasing.
The Jets game's not a guaranteed win.
As you saw week 1, there was several missed penalties, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have won that game.
And Philly, Kansas City, and Dallas, that's rough.
It is rough. That is probably and then the Chargers. I know the Chargers don't have a winning record right now, but they're still an underrated team. Their defensive line is highly rated and would be very, very strong against Josh Allen. And then you finish off with New England, Miami. There could be 5 losses in that for the Buffalo Bills.
You're right.
There is a bye week, though, between Philly and Kansas City. So maybe we'll rest up enough to be able to beat Kansas City and get hot,
But
beat Dallas.
I don't think 9 losses get you in the playoffs in the AFC.
It definitely will not. It'll maybe the 7th seed. Maybe the 7th seed. Depending on, I guess losing to Cincinnati, that knocked them out of the playoffs right now. That puts everybody in the AFC North in.
Yep.
And above Buffalo in the wild card race.
Buffalo's got some work to do, that's for sure.
They do. If we go back, also kind of pointing out, the Miami Dolphins haven't beat a team with a winning record. And I believe you owe us viewers, me especially, and the viewers, something about Tua.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Is he a top 10 quarterback?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. He's got a crazy name.
He's borderline.
He might be number 10. I have him in the top 12.
That's fair. I'd say between 8 and 11.
8 and 12, 8 and 15.
I wouldn't go that low, but
But yeah, okay, so we obviously agree. I can't believe we agree on the Miami Dolphins winning that division. Let's go to the North. We could talk about the North for literally years. I mean, you got the Ravens who are playing red hot right now.
That they are.
Steelers somehow have 5 wins. I don't know how. Cleveland Browns somehow snuck in 5 wins. And the Bengals, 4-game winning streak.
Why are you always dogging on the Steelers? I'm not a huge Steelers fan, but Mike Tomlin, man, you got to respect him.
Look, I respect the coach, but the coach isn't going to make players play. Mike Tomlin's not going to make wide receivers catch the ball.
Never had a losing season, though, with all the bad teams that they've had.
He definitely hasn't had a losing season. He's probably one of the best coaches in the NFL right now. But Mike Tomlin can't make the wide receivers catch the ball. The wide receivers can't catch the ball.
Except George Pickens.
And only if it's hard. If it hits him in the chest, he's not catching it.
Well, they got Deontay Johnson back.
He's literally got to dive with one hand out of bounds and keep his feet in to catch the ball and make it basically a top 10 catch of the year. If he makes it a top 10 catch of the year, then he's catching the ball. If it's an easy play, they're not making that catch. It's a 50-50. We don't know. So that's why I don't have the Steelers. They're shocking me. They're absolutely shocking me. Cleveland, I thought would be better with Deshaun Watson than they are right now.
Deshaun Watson hasn't showed up really.
No, and losing their running back, Nick Chubb.
Nick
that was
Chubb,
huge.
yeah, that's huge.
I have a feeling losing Nick Chubb made Deshaun Watson not want to play.
Deshaun Watson is really underachieving. I thought for sure Cleveland, with that defense, Cleveland should be a lot better than what they are right now.
Yeah, if you take a look, this is Deshaun Watson when he played for Houston, but he's obviously playing for Cleveland. That lazy face right now, the unsatisfied lazy face, is exactly how he's playing.
It's been the story. Maybe he don't want to hop in.
Nope.
Maybe he needs a massage.
He's taken. Wow. For those of you viewers, I'm sorry that just happened.
I think that's $1 to the jar. No?
That's borderline cussing. No, what he did was unacceptable and very terrible behavior, and it shouldn't be a joke. Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Playing this out, do you think Baltimore stays atop of the division?
I do not.
Okay, tell me your top of the division.
I got the Bengals winning it. They're playing red hot. Joe Burrow's healthy. They're up there.
See, I don't disagree that could happen. I just think the Bengals dug themselves too early of a hole.
They do this for the past 3 years, though.
Yeah.
They're only a game out of first place, Ben.
Either team, Cincinnati and Baltimore, would definitely both be in the playoffs.
2 games.
They are 2 games.
2 games out of first place.
Yep. I mean, so is Cleveland. Woohoo.
So is Pittsburgh.
Yep. But that's going to obviously change.
This dang AFC North.
Let's look at Cincinnati's. Let's look at Cincinnati's schedule. Cincinnati's schedule could change my mind here. Let's see if it's as tough as Buffalo's. All right, you probably got to win at Houston. At Baltimore, loss. Versus Pittsburgh, win.
Jacksonville's tough.
At Jacksonville, at home too. Like Jacksonville at home is better than Jacksonville on the road.
That could be a coin flip, though.
We'll get to that once injuries play out. At versus Indy, that's a win. Versus Minnesota, that's a win.
That's a loss, duh.
Oh,
that's a loss.
Sorry, Cody's honor, it's a loss. Minnesota wins that game.
At Pittsburgh, that's a loss.
At Pittsburgh, I would say that's a win. I think Cincinnati's going to sweep Pittsburgh.
I don't see that happening.
At Kansas City, that's a coin flip. If they're playing as good as they are now, I don't see Kansas City winning that game either.
And at home against Cleveland, that's a win.
And that's a win. So they potentially can win out. I have a feeling they'll lose at Baltimore. So they'll lose at Baltimore, and they might lose one to Pittsburgh just because it's a playoff game.
I think they're going to lose to Baltimore,
and
Kansas City, and Cleveland.
Jacksonville is a coin flip.
What about Jacksonville, Cody? Why are you dogging on Jacksonville?
No, I think they'll get them.
Okay. At Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll get them.
Okay. I mean, I don't see that it's a primetime game, so I don't see you being wrong. But if Jacksonville wins, I'm not going to be like, haha.
I wouldn't be crazy surprised, but at the same time, buddy.
If you're putting a DraftKings bet, you're not putting it on Jacksonville.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's really ultimately the question. Would you put money on the team that you're picking to win? And if that's a no, then you're probably not too sure.
So you still don't have the Bengals winning that division? You still got Baltimore?
I think with the way Baltimore's playing, yeah, it's going to be hard to beat Baltimore.
And I got my standings in that. I've got Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
I have just switching that around with Baltimore and Cincinnati. Let's move on to the South. We could talk about this for days, you know?
Yeah.
The South, Jacksonville, Houston, Indy, Tennessee.
Jacksonville was going to win the division.
I think the way it sits is the way it stands. Maybe Tennessee with their new quarterback.
Don't even talk about Tennessee.
I want to talk about Tennessee. I have to.
Why?
Why?
Because Will Levis. You were high on Will Levis.
Will Levis?
Yes. You wanted him to go to Indy.
I did not.
You said he was going to go to Indy.
I said he was going to go to Indy. Doesn't mean I wanted him to go to Indy.
Fair. He could have been in Indy. He's a good pocket passer. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, who they finally started using. I honestly think with DeAndre Hopkins, if he can start playing like he used to in Arizona, then Will Levis could potentially be that guy. I mean, he's solid. He's a solid quarterback. He can run. He can throw. He could be the next Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts is still young, but he could be that guy for them.
Let's not go that far.
He could be.
Let's not go that
Give
far.
him a good draft pick with Derrick Henry too, guys. Come on now.
Derrick Henry's last year's contract. You think they're going to re-sign him?
Depends. It really depends. I thought Derrick Henry was going to get traded, and so is DeAndre Hopkins. But you know what? When Will Levis gave him hope to make the playoffs,
They're not making.
guess what? They didn't trade him.
They're not making the playoffs.
I didn't say they were going to make the playoffs, but they have potential to make a playoff. This is a weak division. You could easily get second in this division and sneak in as the 7th seed. Easy.
J.J. Watt turned Will Levis into a dumpster bag.
J.J. Watt turns anybody into a dumpster bag.
That is true. That is
So your argument is irrelevant there, sir.
Still, Tennessee's not winning that division. I have.
No way I didn't say they were winning the division.
Tennessee's not making the playoffs. My bad.
I wouldn't put money on it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Will Levis made a run and had a potential, final game potentially making the 7th seed.
The only difference I could see in that division right now is maybe Houston and Indy flip, but I don't see it happening.
C.J. Stroud.
I honestly think Indy and Tennessee will flip. Indy last place. All right, moving on to the West.
Of course.
I had to say that. I had to get it in before Ryan had to say something because he's too high on his Colts. Like, oh my gosh.
No, I don't. If I was high on the Colts, I'd have them win a division.
Let
Not
reality sink in. The Colts are getting last in the
that.
division.
They are not getting last.
AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Chiefs, let's move on.
Yep, that's easy.
Yeah, I think the division stays as it is.
Yep. All right. What do you have? Top 1 through 7 AFC.
Number one.
Eagles, let's move on.
No, the Eagles aren't in the AFC, Cody.
Oh,
The AFC. Scroll up for a second. Hit the playoffs.
where you see that?
Keep scrolling up. I think you can still go up, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit playoffs up right there. Ah, there we go. So right now, as it sits, Chiefs have the number 1 seed. Baltimore has the 2. Does that stay?
No.
I agree that it does not stay.
Who's taking 2?
I think that Jacksonville ends up with the 1 seed. I honestly do.
Okay.
Why do you think that's so hard? You've said that so many times.
Because Jacksonville plays the AFC South. They can dominate the AFC South. They still got 2 more games against the Titans, which they'll win both of them. And they still
So it's literally just math.
yeah, it's
just
literally
math.
just math. Just easy schedule. I think that they
I suppose.
I mean, Tennessee was the 1 seed when they made it to the playoffs, and they didn't play very well.
Ain't that true?
I didn't say they're going to play well in the playoffs. I said they're
No,
going to get
no.
the 1 seed.
I'm just trying to explain the math situation to hear young
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
So you have Jacksonville. Okay, just do your top 4. What's your divisional winners?
I got my divisional winners are Jacksonville, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Miami.
Okay, I have Baltimore the number 1 seed. I have Baltimore, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami.
So you have Jacksonville 3.
I do. I don't. I think with the Kansas City Swifties and the Baltimore Ravens, the way they're playing right now, the refs have Kansas City. So
Here we go.
you got the Kansas City Swifties and the refs versus the rest of the world. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens. I don't see the Swifties losing a lot of games. I see the Ravens not losing a lot more games. So
Hopefully the Ravens still play.
as long
this
as they
way.
stay healthy, yeah. If they stay healthy, now I could 2 weeks. Lamar Jackson goes down with a knee injury. I will be changing my list. But as of it stands right now, Baltimore number 1, Kansas City 2, Jacksonville 3, Miami 4. Who's your wild cards?
My wild cards are Pittsburgh.
At the 5?
No.
So start with 5.
Baltimore at 5.
Okay.
Pittsburgh at 6. Buffalo at 7.
Okay. I don't have Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's my number 8.
Of course they are.
I have Cincinnati at number 5, but again, we switched Baltimore and Cincinnati. We have the Chargers. I have the Chargers sneaking in. I know they're ranked 10th, as you could see on the TV right now, but I do believe that they move
You are
up to the 6th seed.
really high on the Chargers for some
Well,
reason.
they started off weak, just like the Bengals did,
Yeah.
but they're finishing strong. They're still playing strong.
Started off weak. They barely beat the Jets, honestly.
Well, you didn't beat the Jets. As a Bills fan.
You're talking about the Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah.
They barely beat the Jets. And you think
We didn't
they're-
even beat the Jets, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Where's your computer charger?
I could go grab that here in a second. And then Buffalo and then Pittsburgh. So I have 5 Cincinnati, 6 Chargers, 7 Buffalo.
I don't think the Chargers are making the playoffs.
It's a coin
Me
toss.
neither. Me
It's
neither.
a coin toss. All right, let's go to the NFC. NFC East. The toughest division, I think, in the NFC.
Philly running away with it.
I think as it stands, it stays.
Yes, I agree.
1,000,000%.
Philly, Dallas, Washington, New York.
I
Now,
think that's how it goes.
Yep.
depending on how Washington and Dallas play, I think they play them twice again, right?
Yeah.
They haven't played each other. Did they play each other once?
I don't think they played each other.
Click on Washington's schedule. I think they play Dallas twice more.
Yeah, you're right. Next week or 2 weeks or 3
Yep.
weeks.
So they haven't played Dallas. If they sweep Dallas, they can
And
move
last
in.
week of the game. Last week of the league.
I think that last game is going to determine the playoff berth.
I
For
still,
either one of them.
I
Yeah.
still think Dallas gets in as a wild card.
I believe you.
This will be the determining factor number 2 in the division. So, excuse me. I do have Dallas finishing second. I do have Washington third, and the Giants shouldn't even be talked about, kind of like the Patriots. All right, let's move to the NFC North. NFC
The
North.
Vikings are running away with it,
I like
but
that.
not really.
I like
No.
that. Cody's Vikings #1, baby. Now, I got to root for the Lions.
The Lions are winning that
Look,
division. Yeah.
the Lions are, what, just a game and a half up.
Yep.
It's not quite over yet,
It's pretty disgusting.
but the talent and the rest of those teams are not there. Lions will definitely run away with that division eventually. Vikings at 2, Packers at 3, and Chicago Bears are worse than the Patriots.
I could possibly see the Vikings and the Packers switch, but
You could potentially see it. You want it to happen, but it's not going to happen.
it depends on Jordan Love.
No, I think it depends on Dobbs.
How the did we win 5 games already?
Exactly. And Dobbs had a game-winning drive. Hasn't learned the playbook.
Hasn't learned who's on the team.
And came in and had a game-winning drive.
Yeah.
I love seeing a Vikings running quarterback.
Yep. I like it too. I think it's going to help their running game because Madison's not as strong as he used to be. And getting rid of Dalvin Cook was a bad idea.
17 years old.
Madison's 17 years old.
Essentially in the league, you know. I mean, if we're accounting for scalability or whatever, he's
17 equals 48.
he's a
in the
teen,
NFL.
he's a teenager.
He's a youngin, is what you're trying to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alexander Madison's in his 5th year, I thought.
Yeah, he's backed up Dalvin Cook.
He's
for a few
not
years.
Dalvin Cook.
He's not Dalvin.
Dalvin Cook. Hey, speaking of, just a quick tangent.
What's the Jets?
Boy, oh boy, has he not done nothing for the Jets?
They have not used him.
No.
It's kind of like Colts with Hines.
He was
Colts-
trying to get traded.
Back in the day, right? Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
And then he comes to Buffalo and 2 kickoff returns for a
Killing
touchdown
it.
right away. Yeah.
Killing it, yeah. Then gets killed.
Same way with
I
Zach
would-
Moss for
Not killed, but
Zach Moss in Indianapolis, doing a lot better than he did in Buffalo. So.
yep. It's just a way you use
Running
players.
backs, man. Running backs.
It's offensive line. It's really
We can have a running back contract discussion another day, but it's kind of crazy.
It
These running backs.
See, I'm going to give 1 point. The running backs are worthless in the NFL. It's a passing game.
Buddy.
It's a passing game. You're dumping it off to the 90% of the yards that a running
You
back.
gonna tell that you gonna tell that to Derrick Henry's face?
Okay, there's 3 running backs in the league.
Don't matter.
3.
You're gonna tell him that to his
Henry,
face?
McCaffrey,
Running backs are
and-
nothing in this league?
I wouldn't even say McCaffrey. McCaffrey catches more than he runs.
Guess what? That's a modern age running back. I don't know what to say.
Who are you gonna say then?
You have Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. I
running
know
backs
Alvin Kamara leads the running backs and catches.
evolved.
That's not true because he hasn't played.
The proper statement is
It
the
is
running
true.
back position has evolved.
It's different. It's
Look-
more of a wide receiver and a fast
Look
one.
it up. Alvin Kamara leads the league in
I love
catches
him
by a
so
running
much.
back.
That stat
I love
doesn't
him
bother
so
me.
much. I love him so much.
My point is still standing that there's not a running back in the league. They're all wide receivers except
Anyway.
Derrick Henry.
Anyway, NFC North can go suck my.
Whoa!
I say words. I can't say words on this podcast.
NFC South.
NFC South. You have Saints, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers.
I think this is where we disagree a little bit. I have the Saints still winning the division.
Well, it's still a coin flip.
I got
It
the Saints as well.
It really is. I have the Falcons. I have the Falcons.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I almost have the Bucks.
I wouldn't be surprised with the Bucks. Baker
3
Mayfield.
and 5. Wait. Oh, New Orleans 5.
Yeah.
I love the Saints so much.
The Buccaneers have been playing good football. Baker Mayfield.
No, they haven't.
Baker Mayfield has been playing very well.
Baker has ish.
Their defense needs to step it up though, because
So who you got in this division? That's what we're talking about, right?
yeah, we got the Saints. I got the Saints winning this division. Atlanta finishing second. Tampa finishing third, and then you got the Panthers down there.
You just got it how it goes.
Just how it rolls. Yep.
You don't see Artie Smith growing his mustache back and the Falcons taking over.
No, because Artie Smith cares too much about fantasy football right now. Did you see that's why they're not playing their starters, because he didn't want to make the fantasy things happy?
Is this just a Bijan conversation?
And a Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts has been in the league, 3 years now?
And they're not using
Where
him.
the heck is he at?
They're not using him.
Actually, that's the story of the Falcons. Where's Pitts? Where's Bijan?
Right. Exactly.
What is going on?
Why? Yeah. Tyler, dude, the running back, what's his last name? Algieri, or I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's how you pronounce
He's
it.
getting goal line carries from the 1 or 2 yard line, and Bijan is nowhere to be seen.
Bijan looks really sweet on the sideline, though.
You draft a running back that high, you're going to use him.
Oh, people are salty. People are salty. And I'm just curious. It makes me laugh so much. Why the heck are the Falcons not using Bijan?
I don't understand
You
it.
drafted him so high, and he's so good. I don't understand why they don't use him, bro.
Yeah, let's just leave Bijan on the sidelines. I don't understand
get
it either.
Put him at quarterback, bro. Heineke ain't doing it.
He's gonna still come back.
Ritter ain't doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
Ritter got benched.
Ritter got benched.
For Bijan.
No, for Heineke.
For
No,
Heineke.
I'm saying it should have been for Bijan because he ain't putting him anywhere else.
I think it's just the offensive line's not helping Bijan. He's a better catching back than he is a running back.
Anyway, give your guys' NFC South prediction. This division
Falcons number
is
1,
ridiculous.
Saints 2, Tampa 3, Panthers
I think it
worse
stays.
than the Patriots.
I think it stays a stand.
And I'm not going to disagree as much as I want to argue with it, but I think the Falcons will turn it on.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, but next division.
NFC West it is.
NFC
The
West.
struggling 49ers,
Yeah, they're still going to win.
the struggling Seahawks, the Rams, or the Cardinals even in the NFL.
Sounds like this division's just straight up struggling.
Los Angeles Rams, man, they're injury.
You know you're desperate when you sign Carson Wentz.
Blasphemy.
Not blasphemy, but
Carson Wentz and Cooper Kupp. It's going to be a duo. Mark my words.
Holy
At least until
mama.
Stafford gets back.
Do you believe that?
I believe in Carson Wentz. I think he is better than Anthony Richardson.
You shut your mouth.
I wish we had video on this podcast so we could see the blatant lies coming through this man's eyebrows.
Yeah.
I only said that to rile up Ryan.
If he's so good, why did the Colts cut him and draft Richardson?
You don't have to defend your position, bro. This guy is straight up Skip Bayless right now.
I honestly tried to make you donate to the jar by saying that. It didn't work. As it sits, I think the division stays as it sits.
Agreed.
I think the 49ers will get healthy. They'll run away with it. Seahawks had a very disappointing game against the Ravens.
They did. Talk
So-
about them later.
Let's give up your number 1 through 4. What do you got?
Philly 1, Detroit 2, San Francisco 3, New Orleans 4.
See, and I agree with all, but I have New Orleans and Atlanta switch.
Yep.
Easy. 5, 6, 7.
5, I got Seattle. 6, I got Dallas. 7, I got Atlanta.
Okay. I have the Saints at 8, so switching that around. It all is going to come down to the Washington-Dallas game at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If Washington wins, Dallas and Washington make the playoffs. If Dallas wins, it knocks it knocks New Orleans into the playoffs and Washington out of the playoffs. So I have Seattle, Dallas, Washington. I think the Dallas Cowboys will probably not play that last game, knowing that they have the 6th seed locked.
Yeah, probably. I could see it.
So I think that it'll give the advantage to Washington to make the playoffs. So, all right, now the biggest part of the whole week 9. Let's give out the 4 awards. We have Game of the Week, Team to Beat, It's Time to Freak Out, and Upsetting Team of the Week. We used to do the Upset of the Week,
Yeah.
but I don't think there was many upsets or enough upsets to be like, wow, that was bad. But the Upsetting Team of the Week,
The upsetting team for me was Seattle Seahawks.
100%.
They went into Baltimore and got shellacked.
That, and they had the chance to take a game up on the San Francisco 49ers, who's a great team all the way around on paper.
Yeah.
You need that extra game to be able to beat them. You don't have it, you're done.
Right.
You're done with the division at that point. Kind of upsetting to say at week 9, but that really lost them the division.
And who's next?
We got the game of the week.
Which
I think it was a tie.
I had a tie.
Or the Houston and Tampa.
Yep. Houston and Tampa, Minnesota, Atlanta.
Yep, we got C.J. Stroud and we got Baker Mayfield. They're playing really great games. No turnovers.
None whatsoever. Nope.
I mean, maybe 1 or 2, but either way, that was a high-scoring game. Over 70 points scored in that game.
C.J. Stroud set the record for most passing yards or passing touchdowns in a game by a rookie.
And probably is the best Ohio State quarterback to be playing in the NFL.
Let's give it some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, he beat AJ or what's his name, Andrew Luck's record.
Yeah, he also has 4 more wins than I gave him this whole year.
Yeah, because you gave him
Right?
0.
Was anybody seeing this? Was anybody seeing the Texans doing it like this?
And it
New
wasn't-
head coach, new everything, bro.
I had him winning 3 games in the preseason. Ben had him winning 0. So they've already beat.
That's a
both.
real thing.
It is.
It is.
What are you doing?
Who did the
You
Texans
saw him
have?
go undefeated
What? Who went? Texans went undefeated when?
defeated un.
Oh, defeated Yes, a new quarterback, no offense. I mean, they have nobody. They had nobody. C.J. Stroud is turning these guys
Nobody.
into good. I mean, I'm eating.
The Texans are coming to
I'm eating my
eat
words.
your butthole.
Stroud,
That's legal. I don't have anything to put in the jar on that one.
Stroud is doing way better than I anticipated.
Yes.
The whole Texans team is doing way better than I anticipated. Even if Stroud had a bad year and the Texans didn't win a single game, it would have been I told you so. But if Stroud's playing like this and had 0 wins, I'd be like, I'm sorry, but
Well, the thing
Credit's
that's
gotta be given to
that's
Stroud.
so impressive about last week's game against Tampa is they lost their kicker, so they had to go for 2 every time, and they didn't have their starting running back. And C.J. Stroud just put him on their back and carried him. So
and it's crazy. It's Devin Singletary, a former Bill, is on that team, and he doesn't get the ball.
Who's next?
Other game of the week.
Minnesota, Atlanta.
Yeah, that was a great game. Great finish to the game.
It was the Vikings starting quarterback went out with a concussion in the first 5 plays or something like that.
Yep, and you know the big hero is Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs just moved to Minnesota. Just joined the team 2 days before the game.
Doesn't even know the players' names on the roster.
At all.
Doesn't know their skills. Just knows them by the number and the color jersey.
Yep.
And he had a game-winning drive. It's impressive. I think the trade the Minnesota got for
Multiple.
Dobbs, beautiful, perfect. That'll give the Vikings a chance to make the playoffs. Now, I didn't say they're in the playoffs. They're giving them a chance to make the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're in the playoffs as we speak right now as the 7th seed.
They won't make it, but
Again, like I said, if you didn't hear me, it's giving them a chance to be in the playoffs.
I just want a new quarterback. I love you, Joshua Dobbs, for what you did for us this week. But boy, oh boy.
Bring back Kirk Cousins.
No. No.
that should be money in the swear jar right there.
Team to beat after week 9.
Go towards Kirk Cousins' contract. God.
Team to beat after week 9.
I still got to stick with Philly. They are the team to beat. I know it's the most common pick. Everybody said Philly's the team to beat, but until they prove me otherwise, they're the team to beat.
You know, last week I had Cincinnati because they're playing really, really well right now.
Right.
Eagles are still playing consistent football. They're always going to be the team to beat because they're the best team in the league. Right now, I think if any team could beat them right now, it's the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens are phenomenally built right now. Mm-hmm. They just smoked the snot out of Seattle, who should be the number 1 in the NFC West, but they're not.
Yeah.
So, realistically speaking, I think the Baltimore Ravens are my team to beat. That's my award.
Yeah, I can see that too. I'm sticking with Philly until they prove me otherwise.
Cody, do you want to break the tiebreaker here?
Tiebreaker as in
Do you want to pick Baltimore, Philly, or somebody else?
for
The team to beat? Where were you?
I'm doing a few things at once right now. Buddy, Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens. You know,
Top 3 teams to beat.
them the top 3 teams to beat, and then it's a pick 'em every game because I think each game would go differently. Boy, oh boy,
You can't count out Patrick Mahomes.
I can't. And their defense. This is the best defense that Patty's ever had.
It's the worst offense he's ever had.
Ben's and Patrick Mahomes haters. So.
Okay, but guess what wins champions, son?
The referees, and you're right. They have
You
them.
are ridiculous,
They
bro.
had them.
No, bro, they were doing this for the Patriots for the longest time.
And I was
bro,
okay
the
with that.
Patriots. No, everyone, all the refs helped the Patriots. No, guess what? The Patriots helped the Patriots.
There it is. It's the dollar to the swear jar.
The Patriots helped the Patriots, and they won that stuff. Boy, oh boy, the Chiefs are that stuff, but
All right, now that
they have seemed a little shoddy, and they don't
On
exactly
offense.
have weapons like they used to.
No, the Kansas
So
City
I would-
Swifties.
I would take the Swifties out of it.
I am.
I think the Eagles would wipe the
Floor. Okay.
wipe the floor with the Chiefs, and I don't think the Ravens would wipe the floor with the Chiefs. But
If Eagles played the Ravens.
okay, I think the Chiefs would be the Ravens. I think the Eagles are it. I think the Eagles are it, boy.
Okay.
I think the Eagles are it.
Award goes to the Eagles, team to beat. That's so boring.
It's not boring.
All right, the It's Time to Freak Out team. The team that needs to get their act
We
together.
already know,
we already know what you're going
We
to say.
already
Go ahead.
know.
Go ahead and say it.
It's the Buffalo
and
Bills.
it's real.
It is real.
It is real, yes.
Their schedule's tough. They're not playing great football. Their defense is hurt. They are not guaranteed to make the playoffs right now.
And I have them as a 7 seed, but I think that's all higher they're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have them past the 7th seed.
What's going on? You got Von Miller. You got Jordan Poyer. You got what is going on?
Hold on. We signed Von Miller. Von Miller's not doing anything,
Yeah, because he was hurt for a year.
and he's slowly coming back. Jordan Poyer's and Micah Hyde are the only 2 left on that offense that started that are not hurt.
They're on the defense,
Because
but
you
okay.
lost White for the year, right?
Did I say offense?
You did.
Okay, defense. Micah Hyde is out. No, Micah Hyde might be out this week. Tre'Davious White's out for the year. Matt Milano's out for the year. Bernard just went into concussion protocol.
You guys are in trouble.
Yeah, you got a lot of injuries, man.
Ed Oliver's coming off of ankle injuries.
This guy,
The number 1 quarterback in the league, Josh Allen,
Josh Allen's sad.
he's struggling to score.
He's so sad. Look at him.
Oh, stop.
He's so sad.
Stop.
What a crybaby.
He's not. He doesn't even cry.
I mean, besides,
You know, this reminds me of Dak Prescott. Such a crybaby.
Besides Stephon Diggs, Bill's offense.
Oh,
is
the
kinda
biggest
weak.
crybaby.
You think Diggs is the crybaby? You're a Vikings fan.
Oh, I remember.
You
Granted, he was crying about Kirk Cousins, and guess what? I cry about him too. But,
Yeah, I don't really blame him for that.
Here's the thing with Stephon Diggs, though. Everything that man says, whether it's against his team or not, is 100% accurate.
I won't put it past him.
Everything he said about Kirk Cousins,
I won't put it past
100% accurate.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So, believe it or not, Diggs is not a locker room cancer like everybody thinks he is, but he is definitely a guy that,
He's a good teammate.
yeah, he's a good teammate. He wants everybody to do well.
And I like that football.
That gap between Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs needs to be filled, and I can't believe they didn't address that at the trade deadline.
Right. I agree. They should have. My biggest freak out is Jets.
The Jets is time to freak out. See, I think
Yes.
you're too late on that. They should
I
have been
don't
freaking
think
out a
so.
long time ago.
Long time ago.
I thought they had a decent chance to win some games, maybe do a playoff push until I watched that Monday night game against the Chargers. That was probably some of the worst offensive football I've seen in a long time. 3 or 4 fumbles, Zach Wilson missing passes. Garrett Wilson had a touchdown. Zach Wilson overthrew him.
It boils down to the quarterback, and if you have the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, and Zach Wilson, you're not going to freak out with Zach Wilson. You're going to expect terrible play from Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
you
but
expect better play from Josh Allen.
He says, I'm Zach Wilson. I throw passes, but they don't go to anybody.
Why did you sound like we're on Sesame Street now?
Because I'm Zach Wilson. I'm just happy to be here. Also, I'm Mormon.
The Jets defense is legit good.
I think they're number one defense in the NFL. I mean, minus the San Francisco 49ers.
Or
but,
Cleveland. Cleveland's up there too.
Yeah, Myles
But
Garrett.
their offense, if they had a capable quarterback that can throw passes in route and hit their receivers, they would be really tough to beat.
I don't disagree with you, but they did, and he tore his Achilles. So we're bringing this to you, Cody.
Yeah.
Time to freak out. Buffalo and the Jets. Which one do you think needs to freak out? Which one's in a bigger freak out mode?
The Buffalo Bills 1,000% because the Jets are hoping on a prayer.
Yeah, their freak out was
The
already
Jets are
earlier.
hoping on a prayer that A-Rod comes back and also that their defense can actually keep them in games enough to make the playoffs, the wild card, because guess what? If A-Rod comes back even in wild card round, guess what? You're going to have to play who? The Ravens or something like that, or not, maybe not whoever doesn't get the bye. That's who the Jets are going to have to play.
Probably Cincinnati or Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're hoping on a prayer. Living on a prayer. And
a road win. It's not going to happen.
and then it's going to take 4 more plays for A-Rod to be smashed into oblivions, even though I don't want that. Go A-Rod, but boy, oh boy.
You said go Aaron Rodgers. You like Aaron Rodgers being a Vikings fan, huh?
I liked Brett Favre being
We just lost all credibility to this podcast.
No, you don't know me. I like good players.
Brett
If you
Favre
do
was a
good,
Viking,
I
so-
root for you, even if you're on a bad team.
Brett Favre
I want
was-
good football. That's all I want is good football.
Yeah, but Brett Favre played for the Vikings.
And guess what? We lost to the Saints. Yeah, we lost Drew Brees.
You should have went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
Vikings should have.
Brett Favre sucked dick. I'm not even apologizing for that one.
That's $2 to the storage drive.
And that's the end of this episode.
All right, we should wrap it up here. Everyone, please comment, share what you think, if we're right or wrong. Yeah, please spread the word. Thanks for listening to the episode of Mom's Basement.
Goodbye.